Welcome to Midnight Podcast. This week we have me as your host, just like every single other week. We have Yessik again.
Yo.
We have Vapid.
Hi.
And we have Damian Sommer.
Hello.
He is the
developer
dev from
of
the Yog. But I'm pretty sure everybody that's actually in the live stream right now knows that, because we did an interview right before this. And that's probably what they're here for. Anyway, we have a couple of announcements to go through before we really get into the meat of the podcast. There was the dude from Oculus VR or whatever, Andrew Scott Reese. He was killed by a driver that was being chased by police the other day, and our condolences are sent to his family and friends. And I also hit 50 subs, so yay. Announcements
That's
done.
so much more important than the death of the Oculus Rift guy.
That was a good, just
tasteful.
smooth
Well, I had
transition
to
right there.
make the crowd feel all right. I didn't want them to be depressed for the rest of the podcast.
But sorry, okay, let's start out. Oculus Rift death. Is he the actual lead developer?
I think he was like
No, he's not.
one of the lead guys.
Oh,
Yeah, he's
good.
Not, it's not like he was the only guy, but it still sucks.
Yeah, it's
like,
really
Yeah, no,
terrible.
That's really bad.
That is truly awful. I'm not
It's
a
like
fan.
the guy was really into nature and stuff or something, and so he was just like going for a walk, and then he gets killed by some driver in a
That
police
sucks.
chase. Did I mention that? Police chase?
Yeah, it was some gangsters fleeing from the police because the police were like shooting at
Yeah.
them.
Man, that is just terrible.
To be honest,
Yeah.
I'm really almost entirely certain that the limitations for opening fire with lethal rounds in the States should be increased. I'm not sure if you know this, but in Canada, if a cop shoots somebody twice, they are court-martialed.
Mhm.
So the training used to be that you would shoot twice, once for the chest, once for the head. By the way, Canadian police training is absolutely fucking ridiculous. But the law has changed recently so that it's just a single shot for the chest. And if you disobey that rule, you get absolutely slaughtered in court.
Mhm.
And to be honest, there's good reason for that. And I think that should be enforced other places because it will cause less dangerous police chases.
Sorry, I was just thinking
Yeah.
about everything you were saying.
My opinion.
Anyway, I guess we'll move on to my next announcement that I forgot that I also had. If anybody has any questions for the podcast that is listening to it through YouTube as opposed to the stream, you can look me up at midnightpodcastquestions@gmail.com, or make sure you spelled midnight right. It's like MIDKNIGHT, not midnight. Never mind. It'll be in the video or whatever, and I'll also spell it out for the stream, even though they can just ask through the stream. But questions, send them there, or whatever you want to talk to me about if you don't talk to me through the comments. Alright, now we're actually going to get into stuff. I think it was for E3, but a Dark Souls 2 poster was actually saw whatever, and it said that it was going to come out in, I think it was March 2014?
Dark Souls 3?
No, 2. Did I say 3?
Oh, I think you said
No,
3.
you said two. You said
Okay.
two.
I just, this is kind of old news. Just in terms of one being announced. We just didn't know the date until now, right?
Yeah, did I say announced? Sorry. I'm an idiot.
No, you said release.
No, you said released. I'm just clarifying because that seems like a perfectly reasonable time for the release of the game.
It does, actually.
So are you guys
Hey, I'm
excited
looking
for
for
it?
this poster.
Sorry,
now.
what was that, Damien?
I'm looking for this poster now because I'm super fucking pumped.
Here, I can
Yeah.
link you to it.
I'll
Okay.
definitely be picking it up a lot sooner than I did Dark Souls.
Well, the thing is, I will be picking it up, but anyone who's ever seen my drunken stream of Dark
That was
Souls,
brilliant.
you know how good I am at the game. Pretty much the most fantastic ever.
I'm pretty sure that is the exact opposite of what you are at that game. And it makes it all the
And
better that you did it while playing drunk.
I
getting
absolutely love Dark Souls and Demon Souls, and I love the difficulty, and I'm the biggest proponent of difficult games. which kind of says something just because of how much I suck. Like an absolute degree of suckage.
It's just such a good game. Like, I want to play it right now, but I don't play my... Actually, I think my friend has the game right now.
Dark Souls?
I don't have it on PC because I'm dumb and didn't buy it when it was like $5.
Anyways, basically super psyched from my end. Anyone else can add anything else at this point.
I mimic your super psychedness.
Although
Yeah.
I will die
Oh, yeah, of course.
a
Yeah,
lot.
Everyone will.
Do you think there will be
More
anybody
than
that'll
average.
run through the whole entire game on their first try without dying?
Nope.
Actually, that'd be a kind of cool
Yes.
experiment.
It
know,
would
you-
be.
Somebody
Okay,
could
now-
do like a podcast, or not a podcast, a live stream, who's like really, really good at the original Dark Souls.
I don't
It-
think even like the best players are going to not die because there's some bullshit that goes on in Dark Souls, and I'm sure that Dark Souls 2 is going to have the same
Okay,
stuff.
we would have to come up with like proper guidelines for it. Like, are they allowed to watch other Let's Plays? Are they allowed to look at guides?
No.
Nah.
Okay,
No, because this is the immediate release.
then
Stream.
I don't think they'd make it.
No.
Actually, there
Yeah, no.
are actually some pretty amazing people in Dark who play video
Well,
games, though.
I mean, sure, but they're talking about having some really, really interesting deaths in Dark Souls 2.
So kind of scripted
So basically,
deaths
what you're
almost.
telling me
No,
is
they
they're
said
going to put
unscripted.
Lara Croft.
But
in
it's like you're walking across the bridge and a wyvern might come and rip the bridge. I think they said something like that in the interview. They said something about a wyvern coming and ripping the bridge, but it might not happen, or
To
something
me-
might happen differently.
To be honest, to me, that is basically a scripted death. When I say scripted, I don't mean like cutscene death. I mean like
yeah.
death that you can't see coming and is unavoidable if you don't see it coming.
Maybe it'll
Yeah.
be
Yeah.
like something in the Yogg, how you would have to do something previously that sort of leads up to such a thing.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like you saying the wyvern is going to rip the bridge, but sometimes it doesn't. Like it seems like there's maybe a prerequisite to not have that happen.
Could be.
Yeah.
So maybe somebody
so,
will get lucky and do it, but I don't know if it would happen.
But it would be a pretty cool contest if you could organize like maybe 4 streamers to do it, and you could stream all their streams on a single channel.
Oh yeah, that'd be really cool.
Like the four best players you can find.
Yeah.
You could do a dual stream. I don't know about 4 streams.
Well, 4 would be perfect because that would fit in the resolution. No, because what I would do is maybe instead of like I wouldn't play because I'm not one of the 4 best players, but instead of playing, I would host the stream, and everyone
see.
else would stream on their own channel. I would
Well, there's
take
also-
all of the streams.
There's like a
And
double
stream
stream
them on
thingy. I can't remember what it's called, but you can dual stream something in the same.
All the streams
browser window.
ever.
Yeah, but I think that would actually be a rather cool idea that might have some merit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe I'll go organize that before it's out.
Go ahead.
Next topic: Dragon Age
You only
3.
have till March.
What's the next topic?
Dragon Age
I missed
3.
it.
Dragon Age 2 was. I don't
Would
know.
anyone be incredibly
liked it, but
shocked
I
if I
didn't-
said I don't care?
I wouldn't be shocked.
Yeah.
2 got a lot of bad press. I was indifferent on the game, but there was some things that were really annoying, and
It was kind of eh.
I'm really
know,
not
it's right-
looking forward to it necessarily, but I also have like this vengeance against EA to begin with, so
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
the thing is, even Dragon Age 1, it like
I really
a lot of
liked
people.
the
A
first
lot
one.
of people liked
Really
the
did.
game, but it wasn't anything incredibly special.
before I played Kingdoms of Amalur, Dragon Age Origins was like my favorite game. And I played the console version, not the PC one, so there is difference in gameplay. I don't know if you guys play which ones you guys played, so
I've only played the first, and I got maybe halfway through it. I would say.
well, did you
maybe.
play it on console or PC?
I played it on PC, and my laptop is shit, so it was running pretty slowly.
Okay.
And I still got halfway through it.
I played 1 and 2.
It was okay.
Like I said, it's just really, really not. It's nothing special. It's just an RPG. It was a good
The first
RPG,
one was good. Morgan
the-
was hot, and that's all you need.
but even
I-
then, it was just a good RPG. You know what I mean? It wasn't.
Yeah,
Like, it
was
wasn't life-changing.
It was life-changing
It wasn't a
for
Binding
me.
of
I
Isaac.
put
It
2,000
wasn't-
hours in that game.
It wasn't innovative in too many ways.
I love your response, Damian. I seriously did
Okay,
put 2,000
that's
hours in.
nuts.
Like, I calculated it across all my characters. Like, as soon as I would get home from school or wherever I was, like, I would immediately boot up my Xbox and start playing that game. For, like, 8
It
months.
It was no Dark Soul. Or, sorry, it was no Dark Souls. It was no what's the other thing? The game Shadow of the Colossus.
Oh, that is such a
Like,
good game.
It was an RPG, but it didn't break new ground in any ways. It wasn't it didn't use new systems. It was just a well put together RPG with what currently existed.
Yeah, it was kind of just that one Star Wars game with a new look.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Knights of the Old Republic,
Yeah,
you mean?
which was recently
yeah.
released on iOS for $10.
Wait, are
That's
you
actually
serious? I'm buying it now.
Knights of the Old Republic is amazing, though. That was really
Yeah.
good. But that's only because I really like Star Wars. Even then, it's pretty... Like, I'm not willing to call it derivative because it was so well done for what it was. But in a
Yeah.
good way, it was derivative of everything else.
It was like a stripped down version of like Baldur's Gate. It felt like it, but like not in a bad way, really. Just sort of in a like more streamlined, so you don't have to deal with all this extraneous bullshit. But yeah,
Binding of Isaac, like I'm playing now, for instance, is kind of a stripped down version of Zelda and Rogue.
yeah,
So
and also made action. Well, Zelda's actiony, so never mind. But yeah.
So saying stripped down, saying derivative is not necessarily a bad thing in this podcast's opinions. I'd like to just...
Yeah, no, not at all. I mean, and I like when I'm teaching people to make games, I'm always like, you're not supposed to be reinventing the wheel. Like, you don't have to reinvent the wheel with every game that you make. You can take elements from other games. It's totally normal and totally okay.
Yeah.
But like cloning straight up is horrible, right?
Guys, I made
But-
this
Oh, yeah,
game
like,
named Zelda,
Ninja.
and you're this guy in this green jacket coat thing.
No, I made this game called Zelda, and yeah, he's got a lime green jacket.
Does anyone remember that hilarious Binding of Isaac ripoff for Xbox Arcade?
No.
Oh, I remember
Oh.
this. What was it?
Oh, I forget what it was called. It was like something ninja, and it was
Yes.
exactly Isaac. It was
Except it looked
hilarious.
way worse.
Wait, it was
like-
actually
but yeah,
arcade or indie?
it was indie.
Indie.
It was indie for sure.
But it got a lot of press for indie just because it was a direct clone. It was so easy to program.
Well, yeah. I mean, like, it was more easy to design than to program. I would
Oh,
think.
sorry, that's what I meant.
Yeah, because you just rip the design right off. But like, see, I'm starting to make a game, like a new game. I was saying this in the interview, like a Pokemon game, and how I'm starting off is like, okay, what are the things I really like about Pokemon, and I'm just gonna code those. But I'm gonna tweak it after that. Like, it's not gonna be the same fucking game.
Well, you know what? Because of Game Freak and because of the prominence of Pokemon, I actually think it's a really underdone genre.
Yes, I don't
I've
know
only
why
played
there
one
isn't
other
a game
like it.
like, okay, every game that advertises stuff like Pokemon is complete shit in comparison to what Pokemon
Yeah.
is. Like, I'm talking about like the battle system, right?
Yeah.
Like, the Pokemon battle system is actually this behemoth of like amazing depth that you could really get into, and like the actual metagame is really mind gamey, and like it's like, oh, I don't know if this
Swapping.
Pokemon has this move or this move. Is this guy going to change to this Pokemon, or is he going to stay in and predict that I think he's going to change? Like, there's this chain of knowledge going on, and that's really interesting. And I've not seen a single game do something as similar as that.
And you know, it's almost even Magic Card-esque.
Mm-hmm.
If you know what I mean, because like there's different, I'd almost call them decks of Pokemon.
Yeah,
Or
yeah,
like
there
different
is.
builds and combos, and it really gets crazy. But one of my problems with the games is they've done it with Black 2 kind of, but they need to start with a hard mode available.
Yes, I
And
agree.
not-
That's what. Sorry.
And not just like a normal hard mode that maybe levels the Pokemon slightly higher, but a hard mode that scales with your current level. So all the gyms have not only their style of Pokemon, but direct counters to their style.
Well, I don't know if you guys ever noticed, but there actually is sort of a difficulty setting, and that's actually your 3 Pokemon in the beginning.
Yeah, but that difficulty settings.
And by the way, Nihat linked that game that you were talking about, the ninja one, that was a blatant ripoff. Like, even the art is fairly similar.
Yeah, it's so ridiculously blatant ripoff.
Yeah.
Like it's almost funny.
It is almost funny.
Almost.
But it's too sad to actually be funny.
I'd probably buy it because it was $1 if I was still on Xbox all the time.
So bad. Yeah, but anyways, what were we talking about
Dragon
just
Age
before
3.
this? Dragon Age 3.
Even before I interrupted you with the...
We were talking about recorders and didgeridoos.
Yep.
Play more recorder for you. Never mind. I'm not going to
I
do
forgot
that.
that Vapid was even here. You know what we forgot to do? We forgot to do Games of the Week.
Psh, fuck Games of
No,
the
we
Week.
gotta do Games of the Week.
Okay, whatever. Games of the Week.
Alright, you go ahead, Yessik.
Well, I've been playing a ton of Isaac, Rus, pretty much everything. I've been playing war game air land battles because apparently I don't know why I'm playing that. I was sent in a copy by Evolve PR, and it's just like, it's so much above my head, it might as well be in space. It's this weird combination of legitimate war strategy and grand strategy.
Wait, what game is this?
It's called War Games Air Land Battles.
Oh, okay.
It's the most generic name ever.
The game has over 400 usable units.
I thought you were gonna say users. I was like, alright.
And it has 10v10 multiplayer battles, and it's just incomprehensible to me. I can't understand what's going on at all, but they gave me a free copy, so I feel like I should make a video, but any video I make will just be a mockery of the total strategy. So I don't know what to do.
I was asked to do a video on this game named Moonbus. Well, actually, I'm going to go ahead and let you finish your games of the week.
Oh, and other games of the week, I don't know, I just tend to go through whatever and play it. I've been playing a lot of Borderlands 2 recently, and playing as the Psycho, which is the new character class.
How's that going?
Oh, I didn't know they added a new one.
To be honest, I so far don't like him, but I've heard he can be ridiculously good if you add a Siren as a class as well, a support class. Because he depends on hurting yourself to gain power.
Ew.
That's actually pretty interesting.
That's a
I've always found
single-player
like blood
character right
magic
there.
interesting when I played RPGs, so...
Except it's too much, it's a bit too actiony in my opinion to add blood magic suddenly.
Yeah, I could see that.
So I'm just not sure about it. But he does
Sounds
have
like sorry.
a really badass active ability where you just pull out it gives you plus 500% melee damage, and you pull out like a buzzsaw and just start killing the shit out of everyone with it, and that's kind of fun.
Nice.
Yeah.
Is it comparable
That's-
to Brick's ability from the first game at all?
I'd say it's even better than Brick's ability from the first game.
Alright.
Just because it also increases your your speed by like 300%, and I don't think Brick got that much of a speed bonus.
I don't think he did either.
It was all about Mordecai.
Mordecai was amazing.
Yeah, that's who I always played as. My girlfriend actually just started playing Borderlands 1 recently, and that's who she's playing as.
There was this kind of broken build though with Mordecai and a completely elementless revolver.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Do you remember
Yes.
that thing? It had like perfect accuracy, and it shot like its whole clip in a second, and it did like 3,000 damage
And you
per
could
hit.
also shoot through shields with it.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
Not that it matters if
anyways.
you needed to shoot through shields just because of how much damage it did.
It's true. Any shield would have been gone in a single
Yeah.
hit. It was ridiculous. But anyways, yeah, enough of the broken... Borderlands 2 is an improvement on Borderlands 1 in every way, including balance.
And story. Definitely story.
Oh, story. Jesus. You know, they even referenced how bad the story was in the second Borderlands.
That reminds me of an Easter egg in Alan Wake, if you guys want to hear it.
Sure,
Alright,
go
so
ahead.
you guys all know about bullet time in Max Payne, right?
Yes.
Okay, so there's this crazy guy in Alan Wake that's like sitting there rambling. He's like in a mental facility, and he's like, the publisher, or the guy, you find out that the guy's a game developer, the crazy guy. And so he's like, the publishers, they wanted the game to be about mullets so that they could make a contribution to the game, just to say that they could make a contribution. So we put mullets into the game, but they wanted it to be named Mullet Time. And so I just thought that was pretty funny. Because it's sort of a reference to how they didn't want bullet time in the game.
Okay, well, let's move on to... You know where... Okay, sorry. I was about to say let's move on to the next person. But do you know what game did bullet time very right?
What?
There was actually a PS2 Matrix game that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that one was really good. I played the crap out of it.
The story was actually developed by the original writers of The Matrix. And they... spoiler alert, by the way, skip maybe 30 or 40 seconds ahead here. At the very end of the game, they appeared on screen, the two brothers who designed it, and were like, you know, the whole plot line of Neo being a martyr is cool in terms of movies, but it doesn't work for a video game, so we're just going to have all the Smiths combine into a Super Smith, and then you're going to fight that.
And that was the last boss?
Yeah, that was the last boss, and they actually just went right out and said it. I
Wow,
loved it. It was
that
awesome.
is pretty awesome.
Yeah, anyways, next person.
Alright, I'm going to flip a coin to see whether it's Vapid or Damian. Actually, a bottle cap, because I always seem to have those. Call which side you want, guys.
The top side.
Alright, you got it, Damian.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm afraid I'm not going to be super interesting and say I played nothing over the past week, except for my Rubik's Cube, but that doesn't really count.
Not even the Og?
I mean, not really.
Played through the whole
honestly.
game in his head.
That's true.
Yeah. No, but I need to check for bugs and stuff, but I've never played through a whole game, or haven't recently at least. I quit by the time I get to a certain
I
point.
know one game you played this week.
Which
Pokemon.
one? No, I haven't.
Oh.
Not this week.
Well, last
Nope.
week counts too.
Oh, okay. Well then, have I feels like it's been a while since I played. Because I play on an online simulator, and so I usually
Is it an
like will
online
sometimes have
Pokemon
quick
dating
battles.
simulator?
No, it's just an online simulator. Hold on, I'll link it to you guys here.
Are you talking about the simulator that was made to emulate the intricacies of the battle system?
Yes, that's
Because that one is
exactly.
excellent.
It really is. And like I absolutely love it. And I think the actual games are largely like I don't actually like the structure of the Pokemon games, mostly. But I really, really love like the battle system. I think it's fantastic. And if you ever talk to me at length, and you've already heard me mention it a couple times now, and I actually so I'm doing this thing called one game a month, and you make one game a month. And last month I submitted the YOG, which was like the best thing ever. But the month before that, I had made not really a game, but sort of a game. I called it the Bento League, and it's just this Pokemon league that I made up, where I play like it's kind of like a DM, like I'm the DM, and then other people are trying to defeat my gyms and other trainers that are just hanging out in the world. So like I have all these teams set up, like 20 to 30 like Pokemon teams that people have to fight and get past. And so I actually did do a match of that recently. And somebody beat my poison gym, and I was really upset about it.
That actually sounds pretty interesting. My brother always wanted to come up with a game that, which I think he still, well, maybe I shouldn't mention it if he actually still wants to make it, so never mind.
Well, nobody's going to steal that idea.
Maybe I'll get famous before he makes it, and then somebody will steal it.
Okay.
I'm just going to go ahead and say it. He wanted to make, alright, you know what is it? Shivering Isles when you're in the dungeon, and you're sort of like the DM of the dungeon.
I did not know that was a thing that happened. But that sounds
Oh
awesome.
yeah, it's like an active thing. Like the group of adventurers comes in, and you're actually like an active DM. So they'll just be walking through, and you're just like Spike Pit. And so
Cool.
my brothers just always wanted to make a game like very similar to that.
That's an idea that's actually been attempted a few times, but I've never seen it executed very
Yeah, I
well.
haven't either.
Not
I
yet,
found
at least.
I know it got a bit of bad press, but I found Empire to be rather good.
See, I didn't play Empire. I really wanted to, but then I saw Indemus's video of it, and I was like, all right, this looks all right. But then it got a lot of bad press, so I was kind of scared to.
Well, I think it got a lot of bad press, mostly because it was, I don't know, it was kind of slow, as a dungeon simulating game might be. You know, you have a lot of off time when the heroes are just not in your dungeon.
Yeah.
That's the type of thing that will happen. But then again, it could be a case of, like Monster Hunter, where most people, Monster Hunter really is not a game for them.
Yeah.
Because it takes a lot of patience, it takes a lot of strategy, and people go in thinking this is an action game. Let's swing my sword until this monster is dead. No. You don't swing your sword until the monster is dead. You stay with a fuck away from the monster as often as possible.
Yeah, it takes a lot of
Yeah,
tactics and timing to play Monster Hunter.
I've had a Monster Hunter described to me as basically Punch Out, like a super updated version of Punch Out with like also RPG elements,
What's Punch-Out?
like
Like-
like Mike Tyson's Punch Out or Super
You
Punch
really
Out.
don't know what Punch Out is?
No, I was wondering if you were actually talking about Mike Tyson's
Oh.
Punch-Out.
Yeah, where you have to actually like time it, like have proper timing and dodge at the right times and that kind of thing.
And believe it or not, there's actually a lot of teamwork involved too, although a lot of people online don't pay attention to it. Like every individual character class, as portrayed by weapons, because there aren't classes, there's just different weapons, has its own unique strategy and unique purpose. Like, a lot of people won't do it, like I said, but as a Lancer, it's your job to constantly be in front of the enemy, blocking its ranged attacks, so that people can get behind you and use you for cover. But anyways, there's a lot of strategy there that most people won't get, because they'll go in being like, hey, it's an action RPG. Let's do some action RPG stuff.
Let's
And then they
climb
just
on the
die.
monster. Actually, you can do that in Monster Hunter 4.
Yes, I did hear that. And Monster Hunter Online will be coming to the States and Canada.
Was that like officially announced?
Yep,
Yes!
officially announced.
It's about time.
I know, right? And there's a couple things that don't look amazing about it, and you'll find articles that also say that they've retracted their statement and they're not coming to
It's
America.
happening.
But the most recent article is that it is coming to America.
If they said it is, even once, it's going to happen.
So, there's one thing I don't like. They have like these hit sparks that just look like slashes, and maybe you can turn those off. Hopefully, anyways.
Is that like
Let's go with
with an
Guppy Spark.
updated thing in 4, or is that just like an American or also Canada?
I'm not sure. It was just in the ads. I saw it. It was just in the
Okay.
ads. But anyways, next person, Vapid for games, I guess, or Vapid's games.
Oh, just don't starve. That's all.
That's it?
Pretty much. Yeah, I played a little bit of The Night of the Rabbit, but
Oh, is that good?
I've literally only played it for a few minutes, but so far it's really good. Just like Edna and Harvey, just a really cool point and click. It's pretty, very pretty
All right,
game.
so I know why Josh didn't join us for the podcast. He had to get his Dota 2 fix.
He was like, suddenly Dota 2. Something reminded me of it. Yeah.
But yeah, that and Don't Starve. I've put a lot of time into Don't Starve because I need to get better.
Well, Josh probably... That game is... Like, during the first few updates, it was easy.
Yeah,
and now it's like
really
one of the most
freaking hard.
I'm actually like
incredibly
scared to play
hard
it
games I've ever
now.
played.
I did a stream like 2 days ago. It was a research stream because I need to get better at the game. So, a lot of my viewers were giving me tips and hints in the comments, but since I record in such large batches, they didn't really... I mean, they helped me later, but sometimes I would die in the meantime. So I had like a research stream. I ended up fucking playing Don't Starve for 5 hours.
Well,
And,
to be honest, I've been asking for advice on mine, but nobody can give me advice. I've seriously, the situations I've been put in have been literally impossible.
My girlfriend advises me while I play that game because she's actually really
I have
good
gotten
at it.
into, I've gotten into quite a few impossible situations, but like now after the stream, I know quite a bit more. So when I was editing the last 2 episodes, the one that went up today where I died, like I'm watching it and I'm like, dude, I could have done that so much better. There's plenty of food around. I just didn't know how to make it yet. Well, shit.
All you scrubs actually having to edit your videos.
Well, I mean, I watch it
I don't
back
do much
for
editing.
because I'm an audiophile. I need everything to be the right way.
I tend to balance my audio beforehand. Anyways,
Well, I mean,
enough.
I noise removal and mute certain things because of all the noises, and then allergies.
There was a swastika
and,
in that
so,
room.
so forth.
There's a swastika. Yes, there is. My God. Anyways, so just don't starve.
Yeah, Don't Starve and Night of the Rabbit, but I haven't really gotten that far into it.
By the way, I'm going to suddenly talk for midnight here because I derail the podcast quite often, and I'm pretty sure he'll approve of this. Anyone who notices the podcast being completely derailed, please take charge.
Yeah, do whatever.
I have to. Do you approve of that? Yeah. It's usually my fault.
It's totally cool, like, for real.
Yeah.
But I guess I'll do my games of the week then.
Yeah.
I played some Closure because I realized I had the game. I just didn't even know it. It was one that Vapid said, the developer
Oh yeah,
was like,
super good.
I'm giving out free games. So after the Nintendo, was it Nintendo?
Yeah, it was
debacle.
Nintendo. He said, "You want to make an LP of my game?
Yeah.
Send me an email."
And so he was just like giving out free copies, and so I was gonna tweet him about it eventually, but then I realized I had the game, and I've had it for like a year now, and I don't even remember buying it, but I apparently have it. So I played that for a little while. What?
You might have gotten it in the a humble bundle.
Yeah, I probably did. I buy like every Humble Bundle,
Yeah.
Indie Royale, Bitcoin Bundle. I buy them all.
Well, you know who I really think is going to come out ahead this console generation, and it's not because they're better; it's just because of marketing.
PS4.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like their stock actually went way up after the Xbox thing was announced.
Oh,
That-
good, because
okay.
I told my mom to buy that right after that.
that was shown to be not really only because of the Xbox thing. Something else happened that day for Sony. I don't know. That's what I've heard.
Oh, all right. Well, whatever. I don't really care about the Xbox one, but we'll talk about that later because we haven't had a podcast on it yet, even though it was announced like a week and a half ago. I actually didn't do a podcast last week. I was out of town. I was at Myrtle Beach. Anyway, I played some more Fez this week. Still haven't beat it. I'm pretty close though.
Oops, I just put my email up on the screen.
Yeah, you did. I was about to tell you.
Yeah.
All right.
I just wanted to inform my mom that it's gone up because I told her to buy it quite a while ago.
All right, so I've been playing some more Crater. I've been talking about that since my very first podcast, so I'm not going to even talk about that. Been playing some more Reus. I'm really...
Roos.
Zeus, Deuce, whatever. I'm not going to talk about that
I just died to Mum.
we had a whole interview and episodes about that. I finally got around to playing Super Brothers Sword and Sorcery EP.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, that game is so legit. Like, I love that game.
Hmm. I actually made a game with Craig, or sorry, Super Brothers.
I mean, I'm really
Yeah.
bad at it, but I love it.
I had a completely illegitimate problem with it.
What was that?
That I started playing it, and I felt strongly like I should be sitting in a Starbucks on my MacBook. And I just could not deal with it. Like I did an actual review of that game when it came out when I was still on Quaaludes during all my reviews, and I had nothing but good things to say about it, but the whole time I had like the most iffy tone because I felt so weird just playing it.
Yeah, I see where you're coming from.
That's all I have to say
So,
about it.
Damian, you said you played a game with the Super Brothers?
No, I made a
Oh,
game.
what game was that?
It's one that is never released and will never be released. It's called iPilot.
Oh, okay.
It's a game. It's a game where you. It's the only proper 3D game I've ever made. You, like, we made this helmet, and there's a webcam attached to the helmet that's pointed at your eye, and then wherever you're looking with your eye determines where you're flying this plane
Oh,
that your
man.
character or that you're doing, and it's all first person. So you're just kind of looking at places, and it'll fly there. It's
That
pretty
sounds
cool.
really fun. Why didn't you guys release it?
Because, well, like, how you need this whole setup in order to do it. I mean, and it was very
Oh,
basic.
I thought you
and
meant
not-
the cam was like in game or something.
No. The camera is like a webcam that you wear that is pretty much strapped to your face, and it's looking at your eye.
Wow, that's
Hey, you could do it
really
with Kinect,
interesting.
man.
See, I thought you
Uh,
just had
with
like a
Kinect,
simulation
I don't know.
cam or something.
No. This is pretty much,
The
or it
The
was
Kinect-
legit.
the Kinect will detect your heartbeat and track your eye movement.
Wait, does the Kinect actually track your
Yes.
eye movement? Because I know.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
supposed
wow,
to
I
do
did
that.
not know that.
Something about having a living being in front of it to turn on, or
I'm pretty sure
something.
that the Xbox One is a
Hmm.
living being and that the Terminator movies are the future.
Fair
Not really,
enough.
because
Yeah.
nobody's gonna have one.
Anyway, yeah, that's true. That's what they're gonna get revenge for. Anyway, I've been playing Skyrim for whatever reason. Hotline Miami again, because that's just one of my favorite indie games in existence. I've been playing some more Element 4L. I don't think we've talked about that on the podcast yet, but I have uploaded videos. I think everybody here has.
Did I tell you about my Hotline Miami hissy fit?
No.
Like, it wasn't much of a hissy fit, but I ask for review copies of games, and if I don't get them, I generally buy them.
Yeah?
But at the time that I started asking for review copies, I asked for a review copy of Hotline Miami, and they were the only company not to not only just say no, but to not respond to me at all. So I was like, fine then, not gonna play it ever.
Are you really not ever going to
If
play
they
it?
coulda-
Well, I just haven't yet.
Oh, yeah, I remember you talking
Speaking-
about possibly buying it when it's $5 or something.
Yeah.
Speaking from somebody who has been in that position now, sometimes I just miss these emails because I get a lot of them.
There's a reason
Yeah,
I called it a
yes,
hissy fit. Rarely will I try to flatter myself by calling what I do a hissy fit. Only sometimes.
Yeah, I've gotten a couple review requests that I just didn't get anything back at all. So, but then again, I
It
think
happens.
like the Swapper, I requested that, but Exotics got one. So I think they either missed mine or I'm not big enough. But I'm close to Exotics' size and channel, so I don't know. Whatever. So I've been playing Sanctum. I played that with Nihat, but then I had to leave to go to eat dinner.
Well, the thing with developers, and I'm sure Damien can vouch for this, is most of them are much smarter than Nintendo. Meaning they realize that if somebody
Yes.
if somebody has 50 subs, which isn't much, they may convince 2 people to buy the game, which isn't much, but who may talk about it with their friends who may buy the game.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Nintendo thing makes absolutely no sense from a marketing
It
perspective.
really doesn't.
Like, they are not going to be getting more money than they're going to be losing there.
Yeah.
It's. I think they may eventually learn their mistake and stop, but maybe not.
Just maybe. Anyway, I've also been playing Xenonauts, and that game is so tough. Like, Yessik was live streaming yesterday with his friend Daedalus, and I talked to him about Xenonauts, and he's probably going to help me in a video sometime this week with it, because that's just not really a game that I can play, like, because of how hard it is. I was terrible at XCOM, and I thought that was tough, but this game takes it to like this whole new level. It was just crazy. I played it for like 20 minutes, so maybe I could have given it more time. Like, I'm totally gonna play it more, but the time I had, like, I was just so lost in the game. Not lost like how you get lost when you play Fez for the first time, but lost like when you're 3 years old and your parents leave you in a Walmart lost.
Well,
I have no idea how that feels, and I'm very sorry for you, Matt.
Well, technically, I never got lost in a Walmart. I got lost in a Kmart. Totally different.
I would like to go ahead here and say that my father actually trained me quite a bit like a dog to respond to the whistle from the friendly giant.
That's actually kind of awesome.
So now if anyone ever does that from like a mile away, I'll be like, what now? Who's calling me?
What? Timmy's stuck in a well? Sorry, I had to go there. So I've been playing some more
pretty
Alan
much.
Wake 2. Not Alan Wake as in the sequel. Alan Wake 2 is in the sequel. I've just been playing Alan Wake 1. I've been playing it since it came out, but I have to get like every single collectible in the game before I move on to the second one because I'm a completionist and it'll just kill me if I move on to the sequel. Although I've bought the sequel twice now because of the Humble Bundles, and actually no, 3 times I think. Because I think I also bought it on Xbox, then PC, then a Humble Bundle. Whatever. I just like supporting Humble Bundles because it's cool. So that's... No, that's not my games of the week. Sorry, there are a lot of indie
You're
games
cheating
I
by
actually
looking at
played
your
this
Steam
week.
list.
I played the Yogg, I played War Thunder, like I said, I played Moonbus. And I need to do a video on it, but I'm not really sure how I'm going to because I have no friends, and it's like a multiplayer only game. Well, there's the Yogg where you can play like all 4 players essentially. In this game, you can't. So, I can sit there and play the game 1 player, but it's kind of weird. Like, the whole premise of the game, there's this map, and I think there's 4 stations that you can stop at, and you're in a spaceship, and you have to fly around and land at each one, and, like, I'm just going to say villagers, because I can't really think of anything else, spawn on the platforms, and you have to pick them up and take them to other platforms that their colored clothes correspond with. And it's actually kind of tough. It's harder than it sounds, but it's not really a game I can play by myself. Like, it's just literally impossible. And I'm not sure if there's an end to the game. I think you eventually just get to a stopping point and you're like, all right, I'm tired of playing. Whoever has the most points wins. But like I said, it's not really possible to play by yourself. It is, but it just doesn't make sense. But that's pretty much been my games of the week.
Did anyone happen to see my video where I was playing that game where it's basically like a combination of Q-Wop and Rock'em Sock'em Robots?
Yes,
That's a
yes,
weird
I
game.
saw that. I was trying to think. I was like, did I see that?
That is a weird game.
That was a strange
Oh,
game.
wait, are you talking about Sumatori Dreams?
No, I don't think so.
I
What
think
was
it was really
called
similar
again?
to that, Damian.
It was strange. Tory Bash? No, it wasn't Tory Bash. Tory Bash is hilarious, though.
Maybe I'm thinking of a
I know
different
what you're
video,
talking
Yessik.
No, because I doubt I did 2. I doubt I did 2 videos anywhere near that. You basically you had like 2 Lancer robots that were balanced on a wheel, and you had to like shoot your lance at your opponent, but often that would just kill you because you'd fall apart. So Despic and I played like 15 minutes of it. Yeah, that was weird.
And you guys died every single round.
Usually the person who tries to shoot first would die, but
Because
sometimes
of the
not.
trajectory of their lance.
Yeah, it was weird.
But that sumo game that Damien brought up, that's a good game.
I'll link it. Hold on. It's a good game. The Sumatori Dreams. It's a super small download too. So whenever I'm somewhere and people are like, fun little party weird multiplayer game, it's like, yeah, Sumatori Dreams, because it's the best.
Yeah, that's such a fun game. Do you ever think that you're gonna get around to like just playing your game, like comfortably around people, like full games? Because I know you mentioned that
you
you
mean
don't
the
really,
Yogg?
you haven't really done a full game of it. at all recently or whatever?
Well, not recently, just because I know everything that happens, so it's not super like novel for me anymore.
Yeah.
And it kind of sucks because like I know everything, so therefore it's not super fun for other people playing either.
Have you ever considered getting Emily to just send you like some surprise text and you not read it and then you input it into the game?
That would actually be really cool.
You should do it.
I'd be down for that, but yeah, if she's willing to write it. But I'll talk to her about it, I guess. But that's really just for me and for nobody else. So that's not. I
mean, it'll still be for other people, kinda.
Yes, the game I was talking about was indeed called Scrappy Chappies.
I mean, it'll technically be only for you, but other people will still be able to access it.
Well, yeah.
Unless it's an inside joke, I mean, then it's directly for you. But
yeah, she hasn't actually.
Maybe she'll have like somebody on the street. Writing. Maybe she'll just have somebody on the street randomly murder a guy named Damian.
One day. Yeah. I don't know.
All right.
I mean, like I play other games of mine. I play the Vermin Throne whenever I get a chance, and I have a card game called Without Question that I play.
Is that the one that I was asking you about?
Probably, yes.
That looks so interesting.
So,
like I really want to play that.
Yeah. That's my next project that I want to release. We're still figuring out the logistics behind that.
I would really like to play that, but like you said, figuring out logistics and such. Anyway, we're going to move on from Games of the Week. Unless anybody...
By the way, if you ever decided to kickstart that whole Pokemon-ish idea, we could probably get you the support of us, Jay Smith, and maybe Northern Line.
Cool.
So think about it.
Yeah, I mean, again, this is one day into development, so
do it.
No plans yet.
Day 2, he's already thinking about Steam release.
You're actually friends with Nick, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
No, I was talking to Damian, actually.
Oh.
He reviewed, or like did a preview of one of my games a long time ago. A game that has since been shelved for the moment, called The Clown Who Wanted Everything.
Oh, I loved the art in that game.
Oh, thank you.
I really did. Like
that's it. Yeah. But like the you're probably looking at like the promotional art, which was actually just done by my friend.
But it was pretty cool.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's by a guy named Mark Chong. He goes by Lamech sometimes, and he's a stupidly talented artist, and his setup is hilarious because he has like a foot pedal that's linked up to his tablet, and then he's got like this crazy easel thing, and then his tablet's just super pro. Like he's got this crazy setup. And I remember he was at a game jam once and brought it all, and then there was just a group of artists like standing around him in awe of like this crazy thing that he was
that's
doing.
Awesome.
He actually has the setup of some professional drafters.
Yeah,
that's the setup of Counting Scars.
Or a tattoo artist.
My girlfriend actually sometimes talks about people who have like 2 separate mice and a pedal and a tablet to do their work.
Yeah. He has like 2
office.
tablets, and then he also customized the drivers so that they're better than Wacom's like ones that they ship with. And then Wacom's like, "Oh shit, dude, can we take a look at your code?"
I think I have a Wacom tablet.
This guy, yeah,
checking my
his
tablet
drivers
right
are
now.
Nuts.
Yep, it's Wacom. I can't stand it, honestly. That's why I had to like pull it out from its dust shelf. I actually much prefer doing my art like by hand with my mouse.
Next subject, though?
Oh, yeah, next subject.
Silly.
So back to games that have sort of been like announced or release date news stuff. Tales of Symphonia is actually being re-released on the PS3, and it also includes the sequel, Dawn of a New World. Anybody care?
Tales of Symphonia was a PS2, right?
I thought it was GameCube.
It's both. It's both.
Okay.
Everything good came out on PS2 except for like Killer 7.
What about some
Surprising.
cool Xbox games that I can't think of because maybe they don't exist?
Yeah, that's because they didn't exist. I hate to say it, but
came out on that.
In terms of no, it didn't actually. Well, it might have later.
Wait, what?
Yeah, it did. Yeah, it did.
Oh, really? Yeah, so apparently everything good came
You
out
know
on
what did
PS2.
come out on PS2? Fight Club.
Everything. Okay, if you can't see that Xbox was the failure of that generation, you are in some way highly deluded.
It was actually a pretty cool console, but it just
Was decent,
didn't have a lot of cool games.
but
It
of
had
that
first-person shooters.
of that generation, it was like the crappy little brother who's like, I like guns.
I don't know, dude. I played Final Fantasy and stuff on my PS2, and then we would have big 16-player LAN matches of Halo. So I had a good experience with both.
Uh,
I liked how it was a lot more
Hey.
open than the PS2 and GameCube were. Like, you could burn stuff onto your hard drive and stuff.
you could mod PS2s a lot more easily than Xboxes.
We didn't even need to
Oh
mod
no, but
the
this is
Xbox, though.
native. Yeah, this is native that you can do that. It was cool.
I still think it's like the stupid little brother.
I think the Xbox
Maybe
was
easy
more
to
powerful,
change to.
wasn't it? Also,
Yes, but again,
Yeah.
the game selection was just not there.
yeah, but you could put Game Boy Advance emulators on your Xbox.
But I could do that with my laptop.
But did you have that laptop back then?
Yes,
Okay, fair enough.
I could do that with my home PC.
Trying to think if I had anything to bring up about. I feel like there was something I was gonna say about Xbox, PS2, blah blah blah, but I can't think of anything. So, Tales of Symphonia, it actually makes me want to get a PS3 because I don't know about now that I don't really like anime and stuff, and I'm really picky about RPGs, let alone JRPGs. But I enjoyed it a lot when I was younger, so I kind of want to play it again.
Okay, one thing I have to say about I hate bringing anime up ever because there's so many people who are just like blanket hate on all of it, no matter what it is.
Yeah, I'm not like that.
Yeah.
I'm at least slightly open-minded.
99% of anime, I'd say at least 99%, is absolute fucking shit. But so are 99% of movies.
Yeah.
And
And
it
just
just
TV
depends on what
shows.
it depends on what you're watching. Just for everything. I just want to bring that up. Not in terms of anime, not in terms of TV, just depends on what you're watching. Not in terms of video games. There are 99% of crappy video games too.
Mm-hmm.
So just avoid blanket statements on I hate blank. I don't like
Yeah.
that. And you'll get shit from me.
No, it's totally cool if you. I'm not saying I hate all anime, but I'm just not really into it now. I'll go ahead and say I absolutely love Samurai Champloo. I was just telling Nihat the other day how much I loved it. But there are some I love
Again,
and a lot I hate. But like you said, most
that's
of it's crap.
that's like
so.
Yeah, that's a very mature and well-produced anime. So it's quite similar to a very mature and well-produced movie or game or anything, any form of media.
Actually, was Samurai Champloo released on Xbox, the game? Or was that just PS2?
Only PlayStation. Only
All right,
PS2.
PS2 wins my argument from earlier then. From me.
PS2, I think, has without argument the most games released on any console and the most famous small developer games.
Yeah. That's because
I
it was pretty cheap to develop console games back then. as
well,
opposed to
the
now.
license for PS2 basically cost nothing. It was like developing a game for your own thing that you built. It pretty much cost you nothing to develop and release a game. But that is also the reason there are so many games on PS2 that sell for like $800.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, because like 6 copies were made.
Yeah. Anyway, next topic, sort of the same topic. Tales of Symphonia Chronicles, which is the sequel, another sequel, was spotted for release. Any comment on that?
I never played the original, so unfortunately I cannot comment.
All right. What about you, Damian?
I played halfway through the original and it was okay. So I don't know. Like I'm pretty just I don't play a lot of games or yeah, especially RPGs. I have a lot of trouble playing JRPGs
Yeah.
and getting really into them.
They're just
Well,
so absurd. Like, I don't know.
To be honest, it's always depended to me. like officially speaking, all Final Fantasies are JRPG. It depends on how absurd they are and what the humor's
Yeah.
like. Like 9 didn't strike me as like a typical JRPG. It just was too self-aware of what it was. I don't know.
No, I can see that. That was a lot more absurd than any of the other Final Fantasies were. I still enjoyed 9, but it was pretty strange for the series.
Like I said, it just knew what it was, and I generally can't play the JRPGs that, it's like cutscene. Here, we drew this anime scene for you, because generally they adhere way too much to the really horrible anime stereotypes that I was talking about earlier.
Where all women talk like this, and are super
Yeah.
goofy and have bunny ears.
Yeah, like in terms of 99% of anime being crap, that includes most JRPGs.
Yeah. The one JRPG I absolutely adore is Barclay's Shut Up and Jam Gaiden. That is by far the funniest game I've ever played.
I don't know if I've played that, let alone heard of it.
It's so good. It's a game maker game, but it's like pretty long. Like it might be 4 or 5 hours.
Oh, that's cool.
Like for JRPG standards, that's nothing. But for like a game,
No,
that
I don't
is,
like those
small,
90-hour RPGs usually.
yeah, that's part of why I like it so much. But it's just so in Barclay's Shut Up and Jam Gaiden, it basically treats the canon of Space Jam like as if it were a real thing that happened.
Did you say Space Jam?
Yeah, Space
As in the
Jam.
movie.
As in the movie.
Okay.
With Michael Jordan and the Looney Tunes. And it also treats a game called Barclay's Shut Up and Jam as like canon as well as Shaq Fu. And like all of these weird like basketball like shitty games are all treated as canon in this world. And it even says right at the beginning of the game, warning, this game is canon. Like
Wow.
so it's got all these things, like it's got stuff like diabetes is a status ailment.
Do they pronounce it diabetes?
I think that is actually referenced at one point.
Okay.
It's like got all this like crazy weird, and the thing is, it's like absolutely absurd, but it's consistently absurd. So the world is like cohesive.
Yeah, that actually sounds
and it never seems
entertaining.
out of place. It's hilarious. Hold on, let me find it. They recently did a Kickstarter and got kickstarted for a sequel, which I'm very excited for.
That actually sounds
Sorry,
pretty awesome.
And I have a friend working on it.
In terms of new games, could I bring one up that I'm very excited about? Like recently kickstarted?
Sure, go ahead.
Stonehearth. It's
Oh
I
know this.
the Kickstarter just finished. It's pretty much an incredibly slow moving module based RTS game. So it's like so slow moving, it's almost more of an RPG than it is an RTS.
That's interesting.
And it's module based. So if you don't know what that means, think Dungeons and Dragons
no,
modules.
I got what you were saying. Well, I guess you're talking more to the people. So
Yeah. So in terms of modules, it will come with 50 pre-packaged modules, and then will be infinitely moddable. So the tools that they use to make the game are going to be also released to the public. So you can create new monsters, new campaigns, new stories, new classes.
will they release more official ones themselves?
Very likely, but I'm not entirely sure about that. But the game looks incredibly, incredibly cool, and just the fact that it moves so slowly allows, even if you're not like an RTS champion, you could probably play on hard mode and make the right decisions because it's moving slowly enough for you to think about the decisions.
That actually reminds me of a game that I received a press copy, or I'm going to receive a press copy of soon. What is it? Hang on. Give me a second. Talk about something.
Anyways, back to
Folktale.
Stonehearth. A folktale?
Yeah.
Okay. I saw it. I haven't actually seen it or received a press copy
I don't know
yet.
about the module stuff, but it seems sort of like the gameplay elements you were talking about. But I emailed the guy and asked if I could get a press copy, and he was like, "Sure, but I'm really filled up with emails right now, so I'll message you back in a couple days." So
If he doesn't, remember to email him back. We've been talking about
Yeah.
this. Apparently, I'm just like the fucking tutorial guy for how to get a hold of people, which is generally just email them.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it was actually you that got me to ask for my first press copy, which was Rias.
Yeah, it's generally, I'm like, seriously, it's a smart thing to do. You don't have to feel bad about it. It's a I scratch your back, or you scratch my back, I scratch your
back,
situation.
I scratch your back.
You give money to, you help
Just
your
let me
others by
scratch
helping
your back.
ourselves help ourselves. What? There's a demotivational poster of Despic saying something weird like that. It's okay. It's you help others by helping us help ourselves.
What?
It's because I at one point while I was Let's Playing Earthbound said that you will that any money you donate to us will be contributed directly towards cancer research insofar as it is aided by us Let's Playing video games.
All right.
Yeah, it was kind of fun.
So
I've said some ludicrous.
we're gonna move to the next topic because we are way
Yes.
off. All right. Mirror's Edge 2 was spotted on German Amazon.
Okay, so basically what I have to go into immediately here is Mirror's Edge 1 got a lot of bad press because it had horrible story. And
Yeah.
to hell with all of the press.
I don't know if it was so
Seriously,
much as horrible story as it was just super cliche.
Well,
Yeah.
it didn't matter because that's not what they were after.
Yeah, they were more like, hey, check out this cool like platformer, parkour game, and that's all I really cared about in the game. So I wasn't really too concerned with the story.
And then another thing it got bad press over, which really confused me, was the combat. Which 9 times out of 10 you could just fucking avoid the combat, and the 10th time out of 10 you just go for the nearest person with a shotgun, kick him, and then blast the other people with shotguns.
The combat was designed to feel horrible so that you didn't want to do it too. Like that's the
Yeah.
thing, is you're supposed to be this super agile, mobile character. So if you're carrying around a gun, yeah, you're not going to be able to do as many things, and you want to drop that gun.
Yeah, I could. I thought it was obvious that they were trying to discourage you from using the weapons.
Yeah, I have no idea why it got so much bad press. It was innovative, it was really fun to play.
I think their problem was that they released it on Xbox, and Call of Duty people were like, "Oh, it's a shooter." So
Yeah.
It also came out on PlayStation.
yeah, but that's more of a lot of. Despite the
But then again, PlayStation
the
3 was
flame wars and stuff all the time, it seems like PlayStation people are slightly more open-minded than Xbox people.
Well,
I mean,
the
no
thing
offense
with
to anybody by that.
Yeah, that's the general stereotype, and stereotypes exist for a reason. Whatever. The thing is, PlayStation. I'm a PlayStation fanboy. PlayStation 3 was a horrible failure in almost every way. They learned from it, but it was.
I'm not denying that it wasn't or was whatever.
It's a good Netflix box.
Yeah,
Yeah,
So
but
it's
so
on
is your
360.
computer.
Yeah, I don't have live though, so it's that,
Oh,
and
yeah, I
also my
can't-
computer
don't
is
anymore
not
either.
Oh, that made me so mad
The
about
thing is-
Xbox.
I think Sony has learned from their mistakes, which was they pretty much made it impossible to develop for, really expensive to develop for, hard to record because they had like the recording protection to stop people from doing it, so people wouldn't pirate movies. And
Yeah,
So
that's
really-
gonna stop pirating, guys.
because really it just closed off every single community you could possibly think of.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So
Well, as far as Mirror's Edge,
yeah, we went way off topic there.
I didn't get very far into it before I almost threw up.
What did you hate so much about
Ah,
it?
motion sickness.
Oh,
Motion
okay.
sickness.
That makes sense. Yeah, actually,
You
my
thought,
friend
like, it's just
messaged
gonna
me.
throw up.
Oh god, this is so bad. Ugh.
I got it on Xbox originally, and then I got it on PC once. And when my friend on Steam first saw me playing it, he was like, "Hey, my mom got really sick when she started playing that game, so I'm just warning you now. If you suffer from motion sickness, then you shouldn't play it."
Yeah, oddly enough, I was able to play Portal with no problems.
Well, Portal was
isn't nearly
mostly
as bad.
The thing is, Portal
I mean,
had a
hey,
steady
you stick a
cam.
freaking You stick a portal on the ceiling and a portal on the floor and see if it makes you a little bit
Well,
queasy.
did you do that?
If I did that, yeah.
Exactly. So, I mean...
That's with me.
That you have control over whether or not you do that.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. But Mirror's Edge was definitely I had to quit. It was a test of my endurance.
Well, the thing is, Portal was kind of... It was made with a Steadicam.
Was there just a character named Poop?
No. This Portal had a steady camera. It was kind of cinematic in that way. If you went off an edge, or if you were running, you didn't have your camera shifting around everywhere. But in Mirror's Edge, they tried to go for like hyperrealism, so you had, for lack of a better word, Blair Witch Cam.
Yeah, I definitely turn freaking view bobbing off in every game that has it.
Including Minecraft?
All of them.
So it is just not ideal for people who have motion sickness at all.
Yeah.
So I'll probably get the game. Because I really like Mirror's Edge. I didn't have a problem with it at all. Like I said, the story was super cliche, but I mean, I don't really care. So, because that's what I wasn't there for. I mean, I wasn't there for that.
Damian?
They got this actual like professional like novelist to write the story though. That might have been probably why it got a lot of flack too.
I forgot all about that.
And this novelist, like this writer, is like, I did so much to make this story work right for a video game, and it's like, no, you were horrible. Like, I'm not gonna lie, the storyline in Mirror's Edge.
It sounded like she was writing for a Fox TV show.
Yeah, or like a TV show, or just like they're like, oh yeah, we've got a novelist writing this story. It's like, that's not a pro necessarily, because she's never written for a video game before. It's a completely different beast.
Yeah, but whatever. The novelist didn't ruin the game for me. The only thing that kind of pissed me off is I think the point was the innovation, because there was a lot of innovation in that, in terms of free running and mechanics.
Oh yeah, that's probably the first game that really had some heavy parkour mechanics in it.
The most heavy that I've seen to date, in terms of.
And then Assassin's Creed comes along afterwards. Though.
Yeah. Assassin's
Creed, though, the parkour isn't so much a mechanic as something that happens on its own. Like I don't need to work on the parkour in Assassin's Creed. There's no skill involved.
True. Yeah, it's all automated pretty much. You just need to find
just
the right
hold
path.
the A button.
You had to sort of adjust to the parkour in Brink. I just like bringing up Brink because I'm a big fan, and I don't think there's ever going to be a sequel, which makes me kind of sad. I mean, I guess it's possible that there could be a sequel, but I don't think it's going to happen.
Didn't Brink get a bunch of bad press too? I never looked at it.
Yeah, just because their servers were really bad at startup, and the game was a little bit buggy too. So.
I see. Makes sense. It makes.
That's why I don't buy any games. Really, almost any games on release anymore.
I don't like buying online games at release.
Just freaking, they're always broken nowadays.
Even some that you can play single player are pretty broken, like Dead Island when it first released on PC.
Would you like to pay $60 to test this for me?
That's pretty much what it is.
Yeah.
And maybe we'll fix it. Maybe.
Yeah, I still don't think that the Secret World has been fixed. The MMO. Which is very Lovecraftian, and I love the story in it and everything, but the community sort of died. But the game was great.
Fix your damn game.
The only game I got right on release, and I knew I had to get it on release because it would ruin the point otherwise, was Journey. Because I wanted to play with people who had never played before.
Yeah.
And I knew, like, 1 week after release, that was not going to be a thing anymore.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Can we move on to the next topic, though?
Yes, we can. Let me bring up the thing. Alright, EA is interested in reviving Star Wars Battlefront.
Yes!
Didn't they just cancel one of the an in development Star Wars Battlefront game,
I
though?
thought that happened like a year and a half ago.
Oh, did it?
More even.
That wasn't it part of EA's. Okay, I might be wrong.
I don't know.
here.
You totally could
Thought
be
I heard
right. I
something.
could be wrong. I haven't updated this list in probably a week.
I haven't been paying attention to the world in probably like 3 years though. So
3 years.
no, I'm not. I'm just exaggerating, but you know what I mean.
All right. So
I'm out of the loop, so don't pay attention.
So Battlefront. We're gonna start speeding through these.
Again, I kind of want to bring up again that EA is the publisher and not the developer of the Star Wars
But they're
games.
still the publisher.
They're still the publisher, but it is quite possible that the games will be good. And if they go with the general Battlefront, the Battlefront design that was there to begin with, it will probably be pretty
All right,
good.
Vapid thoughts.
I don't know. EA likes to impose a lot of.
Stupid rules.
Yeah, they tend to impose a lot of rules on the developer and have a large hand in what goes
All right,
on. So.
EA's a big bag of dicks.
Sure.
Vapid.
Yeah, pretty much.
Talk about
What?
Star Wars Battlefront reboot.
I didn't play Star Wars Battlefront, so I.
All right,
have no-
Damian, Star Wars Battlefront.
I never played Star Wars.
All right,
Battlefront.
Xbox
Woohoo!
One, the big topic.
Yeah, I've got to go with pretty much what every other piece of press on the internet is saying, which is pretty much "fuck you, Xbox."
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm not really that much into it. I'm indifferent. I'm not going to buy one, so it doesn't really matter to me.
I don't know if I'm gonna buy
But
any
again-
of the
Yeah.
next gen consoles. Like, there will probably be some exclusives I really want to play, and it'll tempt me. But I don't know if I'll ever actually get around to it, just due to money.
Exactly.
I'm going to buy a PS4 because what they say so far is we're going to have built-in recording. We're going to make it very, very easy for indie games to publish,
That is pretty neat.
and we're going to focus mostly on gaming. So I'm good with that. And I will admit that Xbox, most of their mistakes is in not staying quiet about their bullshit.
Yep.
If they'd stayed quiet about their bullshit, both consoles would have released at around the same time and had around the same features. It's very likely that PS3 will also have some sort of stupid resale mechanism, because most of the pressure is actually from developers, not from the consoles.
All right,
So so there we go.
Vapid thoughts. More in depth.
I just said I'm not
more
going to buy
in
one, so
depth.
it doesn't really matter. How deep how deep do you want me to go?
More.
About this deep? Yeah, I'm not going to buy one. So
All right,
I mean,
Damian.
It's going to influence.
Shut your mouth,
the...
Vapid, Damian.
All right.
So from a developer's perspective, I'm not at all interested in the Xbox. I mean, it seemed like nothing they've announced yet has appealed to me in any way as a consumer or a developer.
Well, Isaac isn't even going, is it? Like for Xbox, it's only PS3 and Wii U.
I think so.
I'm
don't know.
pretty sure. I'm pretty sure Edmund actually has something massively against Xbox, which I don't blame him for because they have some stupid
I don't
publishing
blame him
things.
either. I don't blame anybody.
Well, like when they released on when they released Super Meat Boy, that was a disaster, and largely because of Microsoft's fault.
Yeah.
Like it did well, but it could have done so much better. And I'm sure now it's all come out in the wash and it doesn't matter. But back then, when you're about to release a game and somebody fucks you over when they say they're going to do something and they don't,
talking
and you
about the
bust your
feature
ass
thing?
for it. Yeah,
Well,
exactly. Yeah, that.
Xbox doesn't even update their
and-
things until like 3 o'clock EST. So,
Yeah, they still like. I can understand why he would feel so shitty.
Oh, I
and
can definitely
never trust
understand it. I'm just saying, like that's a thing that Xbox has always done. So he should have been prepared for that, or known about it. So it wouldn't have come to him as much as a shock as it did. I mean, it is terrible of them to have that kind of thing, but he still should have known, I think.
Yeah,
Probably.
that's fair.
All right. Any more thoughts on Xbox One? Well, I guess I should voice my opinion, sort of. I hate it. There you go.
Again, I just don't like Microsoft
Yeah, I
very
hate
much.
Microsoft.
But then again, I also hate Apple,
Yeah.
so it's hard to decide who to hate more.
Who's gonna make the next MP3 player? We'll go with them. All right. So, any big indie news?
Stonehearth, everything has made its Kickstarter goal. Just everything.
Just everything in existence. All right, games we're looking forward to.
Yeah. Stonehearth.
Remember Me.
Actually, Remember Me looks pretty cool. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
All I can think of is a Jesus Christ Superstar song because there's one called Remember Me.
Dude, that was great in the stream. I was just listening to like the Jesus Christ Superstar track like the whole entire time you were streaming. I'm not even kidding.
It's a great track, isn't it? Or at least some of it is.
Like, I'll tell people that I like it, and they're like, "Please tell me you're kidding," and I'm serious. I really like it.
It's great music. It's not even like religious propaganda. It was actually made by somebody who wasn't religious.
Yeah. Which is really interesting, but that's totally... We're not going there.
Yes, okay, keep going.
So, any games you're looking forward to, Damian?
Yes. Okay. I was thinking about this. At first, my knee-jerk reaction was like, no. But I'm really looking forward... I mean, like, this is long-term, but I really am looking forward to Spy Party, like, actually being done.
It will be pretty great.
Oh, my God.
Are you in the beta?
I mean, it's...
I just got my beta
I do. I am, and it's fucking fantastic.
Give me a shout sometime to play. I love it.
I'm the only one not in
Okay,
the beta
sure.
in existence of everybody on Earth.
I'm worried about the graphic update, though, because I know it's not going to run on my computer, and I hope he's got, like, a low-res version still available.
How bad is
I
your
can't
computer?
wait, because I know it will.
It runs the YOG, but that's about it.
That's not really saying much about your computer, though, because that's not that demanding.
No, it runs Isaac decently, but not really well. But again, that doesn't say anything because Isaac runs like crap on a lot of things. I don't know.
Isaac runs like crap, but it also runs well.
Hang on, let me look at my Steam game list. Actually, am I friends with you on
Could you
Steam?
play Tomb Raider?
I'm not sure.
I don't think I am. Are you like cool with friending people on
that.
Steam?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, no, that's
yeah,
fine.
we'll do that after the podcast. But if you tried to run Fez, how would that run?
Oh, I'm not even gonna try
Okay.
it. Like XNA games just don't even bother. I don't even bother with them.
Wow. I'm actually surprised your computer's that bad.
Yeah, well, it's like, yeah, I'm not even going to get into it. If you saw the computer, you'd be like, whoa, okay. It's actually like falling apart. Yeah. Somebody wrote an article about me and took pictures of my computer to just to illustrate like what I'm working with.
It's like duct tape and tissue paper.
No, I just have exposed circuits and stuff, which I think it looks really badass, but it's also
I think
probably
that
not
actually
really
sounds pretty
good.
cool.
Yeah.
Maybe
I
Yog
give
will
Scare-
hit like some really big name stuff soon, and you'll become super ultra famous and not get to hang out with us Lobies anymore, and get yourself a new computer.
No.
Hey, I don't think of myself as a lobby.
I've been in a position where I could get a new computer for a while now, but I don't want one because, I mean, this still works, and I don't have like this great desire to play high-end games or anything, so it's fine. Other games I'm looking forward to though, Jason Rohrer's Castle Doctrine. I mean, it's also like open alpha, but it's amazing. Have any of you heard of it? Like,
It sounds familiar, but I don't think I've actually seen anything on it.
all right. So basically, what it is you have a family, and you have a house, and you have some money, and you buy like a bunch of supplies so that you can defend your family, like by setting up booby traps essentially for these other people that are going to come in and rob your house. The thing is, like, to make money, you have to go and rob other people's houses. And then they have to rob your house as well. It's this crazy, it's really interesting and upsetting game. Like, it turns you into this cold, heartless bastard, like murdering other people's families.
I really like games like that make you feel terrible.
It's like I played it for the first day I played it. I was like, this game is really upsetting me, but I like it so much.
Yeah.
It's like Cart Life. If you guys have ever played Cart Life, like, that is one of my favorite games ever, and it makes me the most upset to ever play it. But that's why I like it so much, is it gets such a good emotional reaction out of me, and it's so effective at what it does.
Emotional games are great.
Yeah. And then, what is the other? Oh, and The Witness by John Blow is the third one I was thinking
I was actually
of.
looking at that the other day.
like I don't want to get spoiled about anything, so I'm just like, okay, just give this to me when it's done because I will devour it.
So what would you say if I said I hated Braid the first time I played it? And I still
I would
have
kick you in
a
the
strong
shins.
disposition against it, although I still like it, but I have a strong disposition against it.
I would
It
kick you in
depends
the
on why
shins.
you didn't like it, right?
It's just because
It
I'm bad
depends on
at
why.
it.
Oh, okay. Well,
I would just kick you in the shins.
I
I'm gonna
don't
review
know. I don't know
myself.
if that's a worthy reason to hate.
Oh,
a
it
game.
definitely isn't. I absolutely love the game, even though I also hate it. It's a love-hate thing.
Okay.
Both love and hate coming
I
from
don't know.
my end. I think the mechanics are really awesome, and I actually have similar mechanics in my game that I'm working on, although it has nothing to do with Braid. Like, no inspiration is actually drawn from Braid. Even though it's a similar mechanic. Whatever. But the mechanic is cool, and if you know, like, actually what's going on in the story, like, if you've gotten, like, the full ending and blah, 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 it's really cool. Like, I think John Blow is awesome.
Yeah. He's a smart guy, and he says a lot of things that I really admire. Some things generate a little bit of flack from the media, but a lot of things that he says are really important, I think, for game developers to be listening to, because he's really trying to get it to become a more respected medium, and I admire him for that.
I think he made the mistake of not realizing that most of the internet is comprised of assholes.
Yeah.
Because if you remember what he got all the flack for, it was basically responding to everything that was posted about his game anywhere.
Yeah, that's not the only thing he's gotten flack for, but yeah.
That was one of the big ones.
He gets picked on a lot because he's very outspoken and very opinionated, and it's not the commonly accepted opinion among people. So he gets slammed a bunch, but he also gets a lot of respect from people, including myself.
Yeah, I think he's a really awesome guy. Anyway, we have like 5 minutes before Vapid has to leave. That's the time he gave us. So, John Blow's a great guy. Indie scene, done.
Yeah.
Not as in like the indie scene's done, but the topic.
I just destroyed it. I bombed
already
it.
talked about that. Games we're looking for. Looking forward to. We already destroyed that. Alright, so our closing. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you, cast that was on today. Yessik Ziiiq, Vapid,
Metal Gear.
and Damian.
Hello.
And there's one thing I forgot to mention. I hate Activision. And thank you for watching, and bye.
Man.
So you hate everybody, pretty much.
No, it's just EA and Activision. Anyway, bye. Podcast's done.
I need I need a hate counter for these things. Next time I'm gonna have a little tally going for every time you say the word hate.
Well, what you could do is do another
the end of the
excerpt like
podcast.
you did, and just like go through the podcast and mark every time I say hate, and then put it into the excerpt,
Oh,
and then
God.
have a little
That
meter
would take
counting.
that would take forever.